Hello my friends, this is Sal Cuevas with Renova Home Improvements, your energy efficient specialist. And today we're going to be talking about the threats and the dangers that a heat exchanger represents on a furnace that is over 20 years old. We're also going to be talking about how a furnace works and giving some details, but most important, why you should replace your furnace after 20 years of use. So we're gonna come over here and I'm gonna show you the components of the furnace. Right over here, this is the gas valve, and we have the PC board, the electronic controls, and here at the bottom we have the blower, and here we have the induced draft motor. So on a furnace, these are the main components of the system. How does a furnace work? Well, very nice. Let's say the house gets cold and the thermostat calls for heating, and that thermostat sends a signal to our controls right over here, and this controls tells the gas valve to open up. This is the inlet of the gas, so the gas valve opens up and sends the gas through this pipe, and we have here 3 burners, and these burners, they go inside a chamber, metal chamber, that is called a heat exchanger. And this is the component that we want to concentrate our attention to, because this is the one that can burn your house, or you can have very serious problems breathing carbon monoxide, and we don't want to hear the end of that story. So anyways, thermostat sends a signal, gas valve opens, sends the gas through these burners, and inside here, you might see it, we have the pilot. This wire right here, it's for the pilot, and the pilot turns on the gas, and then gas starts burning and going into those chambers inside there, and we're gonna show a top view of these chambers right now. So gas opens up, fire is burning, and then the fan turns on. Obviously this is an upflow furnace. It's drawing the air from the bottom. It can also draw the air from the sides if there was holes cut. So it's drawing the air and it's forcing it up the furnace. And the main component, the one that we want to concentrate our time, it's this piece right over here. This is the one that I'm concerned about. These 3 chambers are called, it's the heat exchanger, and this is where the burners are burning inside this heat exchanger. And once the gas gets burnt, then it comes out through the vent pipe, ventilation pipe right over here at the top, and this goes out of your roof. But going back to the heat exchanger, and if I can get my cameraman to take a look inside, I don't know if it's possible or not, to take a look inside. This is the heat exchanger, and as you can see, it's a flat tube, and this is where the burning is taking place inside those tubes. So gas is burning, and then it's exiting the burnt gas through this vent pipe. So we have 3 heat exchangers, and what it does inside this heat exchanger, we have the fire that is burning. This get really hot, and then the air passes by, through these chambers, and when it's passing, it gets hot, and that's how we get hot air inside our home. But my main concern with this heat exchanger, and it doesn't matter who the manufacturer of this furnace can be, this component has a 20-year warranty. Why does it have a 20-year warranty? Because it's been burning on and off, expanding and contracting, and after 20 years we start seeing these heat exchangers crack. Then we start seeing, you know, the fire. We've done a lot of work for insurance companies where we went to homes and the homes were burned down because of the furnace, because the heat exchanger was cracked. And I've heard a lot of stories. I haven't seen it myself. We heard it from people that called us to replace the furnaces, that PG&E came over and shut off the gas to the unit because people were getting sick. And this is what happened. After 20 years, you're asking for trouble. My recommendation is to pay attention to how old your furnace is, because if you have the heat exchanger that's cracked, it's burning your house, or you're gonna be breathing carbon monoxide. So the question is, how do I know, or how do you know if your furnace is 20 years or older? Well, right over here, every furnace, inside this compartment, there's a plate. You can see the plate here. That plate will give you the model and serial number of the unit. Once you find out what brand unit it is, then you call that manufacturer. Right now, it's very easy to get that information through the internet. And you give them the model and serial number of the unit and ask them, you know, how old is this furnace? A lot of the times when the nameplate or the model number is going to have some numbers, and it is very likely that you're going to be able to see the date when this furnace was made. For example, this furnace was made in 1990. So this furnace is 30 years old. And it was way past due to be replaced. So anyways, check the nameplate and go online and find out how old is your furnace to replace it. A lot of times we get people asking us, Sal, can you come over here and fix my furnace? You know, there's something wrong with it. And we go out there and we find out that the furnace is 20 years old or older. Well, I'm sorry, we can't fix it. Why? Because of the heat exchanger. That's a 20-year warranty. And when you're asking, for example, the blower went out, or the PC bore, or the gas valve, or the induced draft, they go out. This is what people start doing. To replace this blower is going to cost you anywhere between $500 to $1,000. You know, the PC bore about the same, gas valve another $500 to $1,000, and same with the induced draft. Once you start replacing components, and this is likely to start happening after 15 years of use, and this is warranted for 20 years. It doesn't make sense for you to be spending money on these components when the heat exchanger, the one that represents a threat to your family or burning the house, the warranty is expired. Additionally, why do you want to replace a furnace that is 20 years or older? For example, this unit right here, 30 years old. And it is very likely that is back 30 years ago, maybe this was the most efficient furnace in the market. Probably was on the 60s, 60%, 70% efficient. What does that mean? Well, let's say that this furnace was 70% efficient. That means that 30% of the gas escaped and it was not used. So when this gas goes into the atmosphere, then it contaminates the air. And here in the Central Valley, we have the worst air quality in the United States, and this is not something that we want to do. So nowadays there is furnaces that are up to 98% efficient. So my recommendation, if your furnace breaks down, okay, look at the nameplate, find out how old it is. Don't start throwing money into blowers or gas valves or PC boards into a machine, you know, where the heat exchanger can be a major threat to your health, to the home, to the family. We don't want that. And this is a furnace. This we call this a split system. Obviously, this one had an air conditioner. The coil was here on top. This is a split system. This can be installed in the attic of a house. It can be installed in the garage, or it can be in a closet inside the house. So this is one kind of the system. That over here we have a package unit, and this package units, obviously we see them on top of the homes, and on the back we see the base where those get mounted on. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a look at one of these units, but we already went ahead and took the top off, so we can take a look at the heat exchanger. This package unit that we already went ahead, took the cover off, and I wanna go ahead and show you a heat exchanger. And this heat exchangers that we're seeing here, if you take a close look, you're gonna see a lot of like rust or some kind of crust that is built up. And you know, a lot of times we say, why is that? And my cameraman can come over here and take a look inside, how we see a lot of rust and other debris in there. It's pretty nasty. And a lot of the times we experience this stuff on all systems that people did not change the filter. This unit that we're seeing here, we see that the filter was not changed, and we know that it's not changed. You come over here and look at the blower. You see the blades, how they are full of dirt. You know, this means that the filter was not replaced, or it didn't have a filter. And all of this stuff that we see here is just, you know, dirt that has accumulated. And that's when you turn on your system, the first time you have that really nasty burnt smell, and that was probably or caused by the filter not being replaced. You know, our main concern is always, you know, the heat exchanger, where the burning is taking place. We don't want you, because you didn't know, you know, to burn your house, or to have some major breathing issues inside the house because you didn't know. Replace the unit. And if you need help replacing some of these units, either your package unit or your furnace, you know, give us a call. Here at Renova, you can call us at 559-266-4500. We have 100% financing with 0 down, and you have options, you know, to pay, you know, 5, 10, 15, 20 years, so you can have a very, very low monthly payment. Okay, so if you have any questions, just call us. You know, give me a call, send us a message, and we will be very happy to answer your questions and help you out, you know, to get these things fixed. Again, my name is Al with Renova Home Improvements, your energy efficient specialist. Call us. Thank you.